I'm not getting paid for this. I used to go to top rope shows all the time with my dad, and now I'm here. He was just very impressive. He was a super supportive guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back. We were the Buff Betches.
That was
Betches
it.
with the E. Star, you know,
Okay.
AG and Ava versus B and Teddy. That was a fun match. That was a great match. And then lo and behold, we tag it beyond. And then we're like an official tag team having a good time. Under 2 years. I think I would like to try this at least once, but now I've done it twice, and I'm kind of like thinking maybe I'll do it a third time at this point to be part of it. Now they don't even do it no more. And I had to go out there and I had to execute it, and it became a part of me. I tried my best. It was an opportunity. Yeah. I definitely got a little exposure there, so that's pretty cool, and I want my rematch. To be quite honest, I want my rematch. I haven't gotten it yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, hosted by Coach C, Chris Sanders, this is Best for Business.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Another episode of Best for Business. I had to open the paychecks for this one. She already told me no 4 times doing this. Little Mean Kathleen, thank you for joining me.
I'm not getting paid for this. I want that to be noted that I'm not getting paid for this.
Well, I appreciate you finally saying yes. You said no like 5 times to me.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
I appreciate you joining me, Little Mean Kathleen. Now, when I started going to live Pro Wrestling at the time, I didn't even know you at the time, but my first introduction with you was, what were you, a ninja at the time?
Yes!
So walk me through this. So at the time, you start training at the lockup visit. So how far in wrestling does this happen?
This was probably like 6 or 7 months into training. Yeah. And
then who is the third? It's you, Becca, and who's the third?
Was it Cheryl?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
It might have been Cheryl.
Okay.
It might have been Cheryl.
So to go with that, I don't know how. I was asking ChatGPT for facts on Little Mean Kathleen, and it gave like your whole rundown on how you started wrestling with an open house and everything about it. So for you, in your eyes, without ChatGPT, walk me through, why did you finally decide pro wrestling was something you wanted to do?
Does ChatGPT actually know that?
I swear to God, yeah, I'll send you the response.
I know I wanted to wrestle, did you just say?
Yeah.
I was scared.
Appreciate you listening.
I was a little paranoid.
Yeah.
I don't know, I watched on TV, and I used to go to top rope shows all the time with my dad.
Nice.
And then one time they were like, hey, we're having an open house. And I said, I am going to go to that. And I did. And now I'm here. Look at me now.
Who was your favorite top rope wrestler at the time before you even started training and knew anyone?
I really liked Caesar, Leo, and Teddy.
Wow, what a duo. So to go with that, another thing I'm curious about when we talk about Nick Steele. Now, I never met Nick Steele, but I hear the impact he's had on a lot of people. For you personally, like, what are some of the biggest things you felt you've learned from Nick Steele?
Nick Steele was an awesome guy, and he was one of the only trainers around here that could teach you real catch wrestling, not just like amateur pro wrestling, just like actual catch wrestling. And he was just very impressive. He was a super supportive guy. He would give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. And I take away quite a few things from him.
Yeah, what about Ryan Drew?
Ryan Drew's awesome. Great guy. He just knows like everything about professional wrestling, and he's just so well-rounded in like every part of pro wrestling that you can be well-rounded in. It's insane. He's a great teacher too. He's amazing.
So when I started watching you, I was in like 8th grade for live pro wrestling. So I remember, I forgot the tag name you and Becca had. Was it like the Buff Bitches or something like that?
We were the Buff Betches.
That was it.
With the E.
I go with that. So you were training at the lockup. I'm pretty sure Becca was it she the New England Pro Wrestling Academy?
No, she started at the Belltime Club.
So what was your first interaction meeting Becca?
Becca and I went to the same open house at Top Rope. We were in the same open house. Oh. And I just met her there, and then we kind of kept in touch, and then we wrestled each other like a million bajillion times.
Yeah. Another thing that caught my eye about you, I remember watching, was you got to wrestle during the pandemic. Now, obviously, like they were for tapings for Limitless Wrestling, but what was that atmosphere like? Because obviously, Little Mean Kathleen, the crowd goes nuts when you wrestle, but during the pandemic, not many people in the crowd. What was that like?
Are you saying they don't go nuts?
Well, I'm
They
saying
didn't
they
go
are,
nuts
but
for
during
me?
the pandemic, with not many people in the crowd.
Definitely uncomfortable for
Yeah.
sure, especially because I had just started wrestling on shows like right before the pandemic. I did one show. It was like right after lockdown started. I don't know why the show happened. It was on the WSU show
Okay.
down at the CZW place, wherever in
hmm
New Jersey. And I swear to God, it was me, Becca, Ava Everett, and Paris Van Dale. We drove like 5 fucking hours to get to this show in New Jersey. No crowd, no nothing, all women's show. It was just like the most awkward thing ever, just wrestling in front of nobody. And I've wrestled in front of like very few people
Yeah.
before, but like nobody was crazy. Like it was supposed to be nobody. That's the problem, I
Yeah.
think.
Who'd you wrestle that show?
Who did I wrestle? I wrestled Karen Bam Bam.
Oh, that's not bad.
I know. And it was streaming. It was streaming on IWTV. I remember that.
Wow. So another match that caught my eye, I believe this is how it was going for Beyond Wrestling. Please come back now. I remember they had a few select people and they got to pick their opponents, I believe. So getting picked by somebody like Anthony Green, tell me about that match.
Um, it wasn't much of a match.
Yeah,
Listen, I
getting the
tried my best.
opportunity.
I tried my best. It was an
Yeah,
opportunity. I definitely got a little exposure there, so that's pretty cool. And I want my rematch. To be quite honest, I want my rematch. I haven't gotten it yet. Like,
damn.
what the fuck?
Well, technically, when this gets posted, it's gonna be the week after. But you're gonna be in a fatal four with Anthony Green, so somewhat you can get that payback on him.
And I'm gonna win.
Oh, calling your shot. If you don't, we're going to clip that. So to talk about this, what I want to talk about is Teddy Goodz. Now, his version of the story was he loved wrestling AG, and at the time when AG was teamed with Ava, he just wanted a partner. But in your vision, what was his tag team, the pitch, or how'd that come to be?
No, that is like the start,
Okay.
AG and Ava versus B and Teddy. That was a fun match. That was a great match. And then he kept pitching after that match. He was like, I'm gonna go to Beyond, we're gonna wrestle, we're gonna tag her Beyond, we're gonna tag Beyond, we're gonna tag Beyond. I'm like, sure, Ted. And then lo and behold, we tag it Beyond. And then we're like an official tag team having a good time.
Is there any matches team with Teddy that stick out to you?
Definitely my match with him and Best Bros. I
I
think
had
that's one
that
of my
written down too.
one of my faves.
Yeah. So to go with that, I like getting your take. Scott King was telling me about it. The night of his retirement, you guys were placing a wager on the retirement, where he's going to retire. I've asked pretty much every guest I've had on since. Little Mean Kathleen, where's your money on when he comes back?
Under 2 years.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, he got mad the night of his retirement. He was like, "How was the show?" I said, "Pal, you're coming back real soon."
Oh
So
yeah.
having him leave wrestling, what has it been like? Because you've teamed with Mortar, you've teamed with Jermaine, trying all these new partners. Have you found somebody close yet?
Dude, no. I keep getting put with these random people.
Mm,
And like this whole time, I'm like, you could have booked me and Ted this entire time.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so another thing that I'm curious about from your perspective, Teddy Goodz was really proud of it. Tell me, in your perspective, the wedding at Beyond Wrestling, the amount of work that was put into that whole thing.
Oh my God. The amount of work, just like Doug and I wrestled. I think did we have the tag team match first or the singles match? I don't remember. Something happened. Doug proposed in the match, and Doug and I were like, dude, we should run with this.
Yeah.
And there was like pushback, like, no, we're not gonna run with that. And then we were like, let's run with it. And they were like, okay. And we had a big fucking wedding. It was awesome. It was great. It was a good time. The logistics were crazy, but it all worked out. And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the wedding, even though,
I
Mountain
never
War.
really seen it much in wrestling. What was it like wrestling in like a wedding gown?
It's kind of fun,
Yeah.
honestly. I want to do it again, but I
Yeah.
have no reason to. But it was like kind of awesome.
And to speak with Beyond, I was going back and research. What was it like? I'm curious in your eyes. How was Wrestling Open like pitched to you in sort of way? Because you were part of the first ever Wrestling Open match ever.
Yes. Am I the first match ever?
Yeah, you and Becca was the first match
You
ever.
opened the show.
Unless they had a
Dumbass was kind of
spotlight match and didn't air it, but that was the
That was
first
kind
match.
of a banger too.
Yeah. You didn't win though, but it's okay.
Okay, listen. I don't win a lot of my matches.
It's about if you're having fun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bitch. Wrestling Open was pitched as like an open mic night for wrestling, and everyone would kind of split the door. So it was kind of like very much a team effort. Come if you want. If you don't, if you're not cool with maybe not making a lot of money or maybe making a lot of money, if you're not cool with the possibilities, then don't show up. And I think it ended up resulting in a lot of very dedicated people who truly like what they do at Wrestling Open.
For someone that's been a part of Open since day one, is there a match that sticks out to you? Obviously that match with Becca, but anyone else?
Match with Becca I really like. My match with Maya World I really liked. The Best Bros match, definitely for sure. What else is really fun sometimes? I don't know. I've had so many freaking matches.
So to go with that, if we look at Little Mean Kathleen's career, if somebody's like brand new to you, what's like that one or two matches or moments in your career that you would point somebody to?
Probably, oh my gosh, we're gonna go with two very opposites. Maybe my match with AG where I just get kicked in the face.
Okay.
And then maybe my match with Danny DeManto where I like die a little bit.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was one of the things I was going to ask you about. So, Little Mean Kathleen, I've seen you have some hardcore fights and street fights, but walk me through the process of wanting to do a death match or a match of that style. Because when people think Little Mean Kathleen, that's not the first thing that comes to people's minds.
I like ECW matches. I like to watch death matches kind of like in person.
Nice.
Not on video because it's too close to the action. I like to be far away in person. It's cool. And I wrestled Danny before, so I was like, shit, like this was kind of fun. And then I like watching Matt Tremont too. So I'm like, I think I would like to try this at least once, but now I've done it twice. And I'm kind of like thinking maybe I'll do it a third time at this point.
Is there anything in these matches you haven't done yet?
Oh, yeah. I probably will never do like glass.
Okay, yeah. What about Set on Fire?
No, thank you.
Oh, okay. So another thing that I'm curious about, have you ever like learned or anything from Spike? Because I remember Teddy Goodz was talking about that match where you got to learn to team with Spike against Ava, Aaron Rourke, and LSG. And he said one of the big parts of that match was you sharing that moment with Spike.
Mm-hmm.
So did you like learn from Spike or anything?
I actually didn't.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, in the match, obviously.
Is that what the Dudley dog's named after?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, in the match, obviously, yeah, I learned some things. I picked up some stuff. I got to talk to Spike. I'm like, yes. But I've actually never trained with the man. The school is like Spike Dudley's lockup for wrestling.
Yeah. I remember you were streaming once and somebody, I forgot who you might have been playing with Gina, and they asked you about training. You're like, nope, I'm a Spike girl.
Yeah. Because there was like Kowalski and like, oh, I'm a Fuji guy. And I'm like, I'm a Spike Dudley guy.
I love that. Through the lineage, I guess. Hell yeah. So to go with that, another thing I was happy to see, my first ever live pro wrestling show, you were the part of the second ever match. So BRG has gone on record, Teddy Goodz, a lot of these people, they didn't really know what live pro wrestling was going to be. Mm-hmm. So somebody that was close to Teddy at the time seeing this, what have been your vision on the transformation of live pro wrestling? Because you've been a champ too.
I'm going to change. I think Teddy really likes, presenting something to the community. I think he's definitely all about that. So I'm really happy with how Live Pro has kind of done like the fundraising route and then keeping it in New Bedford as well. More fundraising, more New Bedford, kind of like staying within the communities he enjoys, he's been a part of. And I think it's grown crazy, like coming from that little outdoor show, the first show, where it was kind of like, let's just have some fun, and now it's like, holy shit.
So to go with live pro wrestling, I was looking through the history books, and Little Mean Kathleen was a part of history, and I think this was your idea. So please walk me through your vision with a Glizzy rules match.
Oh my god, the Glizzy rules match.
Or what did you call too? You also had a tag match with Teddy against Doug and TJ. It was like a hot dog beatdown or whatever it was called.
Oh my god, like hot dog throwdown or something?
Yeah,
what was it? Dude, I just
love hot dogs.
I love hot dogs. I'm all about them. I'm all about dogs. I got that dog in me.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, and another person I want to ask you about when we talk Ryan Drew or Ryan Waters, Pro Wrestling Supershow, is there a match, because you've gone toe-to-toe with Becca, Sarah Jade, Livia, is there a match or an opponent there that really sticks out in your career?
Oh my gosh. I mean, It's gotta be Becca because, well, yeah, I guess technically at the time that street fight was kind of like a Pro Wrestling Super Show, top rope promotion, like
Yeah,
hybrid match.
yeah.
But I think that's like a match that really sticks out because I feel like after that, things kind of got like
Mhm.
rolling.
So another thing I'm curious about, you're one of very few people that have done this. What was it like going to Barstool for wrestling? Because you and Brandon, what a dynamic duo.
I hate you, Brandon.
Damn.
Yeah, it was very fun, very surreal. Hated driving there, but like going in the building, very fascinating to see the space they got. It's fucking insane in there. And the whole crew behind wrestling is just, they're very nice, they're very fun. It was super
Yeah.
cool. I'm happy that I get to be a part of it. Now they don't even do it no more, like
Yeah,
the
you're one of
independent
very
wrestlers.
few.
Yeah.
Yeah, Little Mean Kathleen is all over the record book. So another thing I want to ask you about, when you did the interview with Tiffany, you talked about one opponent at the time you wanted to wrestle was Willow. So since
Mhm.
then you've gotten a wrestler. I think it's been a few times now.
Yeah.
So what was it about Willow that you wanted to wrestle? And tell me about those matches.
I just like her as a person. Like
Mm,
she's so nice, she's so funny, and she's very kind. And I just loved watching her matches. And I was like, I want to have a match with her. I think we'll fucking tear it up and have a good time. And I'm super happy I've gotten to wrestle her quite a few times. Once on Ring of Honor.
wow. Is there an AEW or Ring of Honor match that sticks out to you?
Um, Probably my match with Athena.
Mm,
I feel like that's the match I probably got to do the most in. And like
nice.
very grateful that she was so giving with that. I was like,
Was she the champ at the time too?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So another thing I'm curious about when I was looking at Little Mean Kathleen, tell me about your experience wrestling for the Midget Wrestling Warriors. Because I don't think on any interview you've talked about this.
No, I haven't. I love the Midget Wrestling Warriors. Dan
Yeah.
Shortsleeve Sampson runs it a lot. I like his promotion specifically to work for because one, he like books me, and two, because a lot of these promotions are not run by like an actual little person. So it's kind of like, at least with Dan, I'm actually working for someone
Yeah.
who has lived that life, you know?
Yeah.
And it's an amazing opportunity too because I get to wrestle people from all over the country. I get to wrestle people from Canada and Mexico and have like all different kinds of matches. And it's just a blast.
Yeah. So speaking of blast, one of my favorite things about Little Mean Kathleen is also no longer running. I don't know why. Tell me about it. Crossing the streams. That was one of my favorite things of Little Mean Kathleen. Was this your idea? Was this theirs? How did that come to be?
It came to be because I was doing my own little videos,
Yeah.
my like Billy on the Street style videos, and Mr. IWTV Geraldine came up to me. He was like, "I want you to do video. I want you to do that kind of stuff for me for IWTV." And I was like, "Okay." And the green screen was up while he was talking to me about this in the Eagle, and I was like, "Dude, I should be like the weatherman." And I can read the schedule and it'll be behind me. And I'll just talk about what's coming up. And I think for a few months we didn't do anything. And then when we finally did it, it was a pretty good time. I miss it. I miss crossing the streams.
Why did it stop?
I don't know. It
Okay.
just,
Same with your videos. Why did they stop? And originally, what was your vision with that? Because I remember as you kept doing them, they just got bigger and bigger view-wise.
I don't know. My vision was just to do like a little Eric Andre, Billy on the Street style interviews with crazy cuts where I just edit it in the middle of the night and I post it right when I wake up.
So, when we talk Little Mean Kathleen in your career, who are some opponents or people you think bring the best out of you?
Oh my gosh. Who have I wrestled like a million bajillion times besides Becca? Becca, like we tear it up. Oh, I love wrestling Gabby. I think she
Yeah,
brings out a very good side of me where I can just take huge moves and just die a little bit. But that's what I like to do.
nice.
Oh my God, who else have I wrestled a million times? Do you know in your
I
extensive
mean, like,
research?
it's not a million times, but like Livia, like Sarah Jade, they're starting to.
Oh, I love wrestling Livia. She's
Yeah,
fun to wrestle. I think we kind of bring out good things in each other. And I think she's going to be very good.
yeah.
She's
So,
only 18.
So another thing that blew my mind, when you were interviewing with Tiffany, you were talking about how you had a Twitch account and your goal eventually was to start streaming. So as of this recording, it's been like, I don't know, like 6 months. Little Mean Kathleen completely gave up on streaming. What has been happening? Why did you give up, and are you ever going to return?
I've been busy. What was 6 months ago? What month is that?
I don't know. I was just throwing out a number. I was going to say year.
Bitch. Oh my God.
I'm your moderator, and I'm still waiting for the paycheck.
Shut the fuck up. Maybe I'll stream after this.
Oh, we're going big tonight.
I probably won't.
Nothing new. So everything that people have been caring about Little Mean Kathleen, one of everyone's favorite things right now is Rad Pro Rasslin. Roberta Gingersnap. Now,
Yes.
a lot of people, some of them have ideas on what their character is. Some people just have it pitched to them. Walk me through this. Did you have any idea on what it was going to do or how it was going to come to be?
I knew what the vision was.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go out there and I had to execute it. And it became a part of me. She's
Amazing.
inside of me. She was already there.
Wow. So what are some of the things that you felt you've learned from her if she's inside of you?
Like the joy of a good cigarette.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and the
Perfect.
pain of multiple falls.
Nice.
Multiple falls, yeah.
Yeah. So when we look at Little Mean Kathleen's career and everything she's accomplished, obviously the year is just starting, 2025. What hasn't Little Mean Kathleen done? I know you mentioned you really want to do glass and fire and death matches,
No.
but anything else? Is there anyone else or anything that you want to do?
Oh my God, I want to wrestle Matt Tremont. Duh.
Yeah.
I want to wrestle Cruel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what else do I want to do?
When you did Tiffany's, you said Texas was a goal. Is that still a goal for you?
Oh my God, I would love to go to Texas. Wow.
Is that it? Yeah, those three?
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
simple.
Little Mean Kathleen, I want to thank you for doing this. I want to thank you for everything. However, I've ended every interview the same. The day Little Mean decides it's time to hang up the boots, we don't know when that's going to be, but whenever it's time, what do you want your legacy in pro wrestling to be?
Oh my gosh, I want my legacy to be that I had a good time. And I just did my thing and I went home at the end of the day with a hot dog and a handshake in hand.
Wow. that was inspirational. Little Mean Kathleen, thank you for doing this. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see what this year holds. And you're streaming tonight. It's official?
No.
All right. Well, I'm going to go post that on the Discord. Thank you, Little Mean Kathleen, for doing this. And thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. This was Best for Business.